Hello, my name's Ashley Wilson. If you haven't met me before, I run an eco-friendly blog called mygreennest.com. My son, Abram here, decided to wake up from his nap, and so I guess he's just going to be in the video with us, but that's okay. Today I'm going to show you in this video how to use a Medela Pump and Style Advance. I've actually gotten 2 of them from my insurance, and I've written a complete guide in my blog post. I'll link that in the description below for you. But I've written a complete guide that will show you exactly how to get a breast pump from your insurance. And if you don't have insurance, that's okay. I've also written some tips on how to potentially get a free breast pump even if you don't. And I've got a whole lot of extra things in it, even a downloadable sheet that has 9 questions that you need to ask your insurance when you're on the phone with them. So be sure to check that out in the description below. But let's go ahead and get to the video.
When I first decided to breastfeed, I didn't know where to start, what pump brand to go with, let alone how to turn the thing on. So I ultimately decided to go with Medela after reading tons and tons of reviews, and because a lot of the hospitals use the Medela brand. So if you decide to get a Medela Pump and Style Advance from your insurance, it's going to be this small square pump with just a little cover around it. You will not receive the full bag that encloses it unless you purchase that separately. The bigger carrier bags offer a designed pouch for your pump, bottle, coolers, and extra storage for your pumping supplies. They also have different styles that you can choose from. These are more ideal if you're going to be pumping at work. The pump from my insurance included 2 breast shield covers and the standard size 24mm breast shields, a couple packs of disposable nursing pads, 2 5-ounce bottles, 2 yellow valves, 2 extra membranes, 2 silicone tube connectors, the plug-in, the manual, and of course my pump. To turn on your Medela Pump and Style Advance, you will need to plug it in. You can buy battery packs to use if you're traveling, but I'd prefer to use my Medela manual Harmony pump instead. It's just easier to pump when riding in a car or being out and about. Now I do have a video about that specific pump if you want to check it out. I'll place it in the link below. Before you use any parts, you will need to sanitize them by putting them in Medela steam bags or boiling them for 10 minutes, or simply by popping them into the dishwasher if you're lazy like me. I think they do suggest that you boil them for 10 minutes though. You can wash them by hand, which I do from time to time. Just make sure your hands are clean before handling any of the breast pump parts. To assemble your bottles and shields, the first thing you want to do is take your shield container and connect it to the yellow valve piece. Now this is the tricky part. You do need to make sure that the valve is facing a certain direction or it's not going to work properly. Do not have it flat like this or this. As long as the valve is facing to the left or right side in the direction of your breast shield, you are good. Now add the little white membrane onto the yellow valve. Attach your bottle, bag, or Medela storage tube by screwing it on. Then you'll need to attach your breast shield. Now I prefer to use the 27mm, which is a little larger from your standard 24mm. You can purchase these shields in additional sizes to fit your needs. To know if your breast shield is the right size, you don't want your nipples rubbing against the walls of the shield. If they do, you'll want to size up. Also make sure to rub a little coconut oil or nipple cream to keep things running more smoothly. I like to use bamboo beads because it's all natural ingredients and it keeps your nipples from cracking. I also like to rub a little bit of it on the shield itself to make pumping a little bit easier. The last thing you will want to do is attach the tubing. Simply stick the clear end of the tubing into the pump ports, then take the plastic end of the tubing and stick it into the back of your shield connector. The awesome thing about this electric pump is that it's going to allow you to pump one or both breasts at the same time. If you're pumping one, you will need to make sure that this little guy is covering the other hole or it won't suction correctly. When you're ready to pump, center the breast shield over your nipple. Turn the knob to the highest setting that you can, but make sure it's still comfortable for you. If it hurts, turn it down just a little bit. When you first turn the pump on, it's going to be at a faster stimulation phase. It'll stay at this phase for about 2 minutes and then it'll go to the regular and faster expression phase. 2 minutes is the usual time that it takes for your milk to let down. By let down, I mean start to flow more freely. If your milk begins to let down before the 2-minute stimulation phase, you can go ahead and switch to the expression phase by pushing the let down button. This will help you pump more efficiently. Once you've finished, remove the tubes from the back of your breast shields and let the pump keep going a minute or two to remove any condensation that has built up in the tubes. I like to keep a couple of cloth wipes handy to wipe away any excess milk off of myself or my breast shields. And I also like to use a pump bra so I can be hands-free during my pumping sessions. Once you are done, put a cap on your bottles and store them in the fridge or freezer. Be sure not to overfill your breast bottles, especially if you plan on freezing the breast milk, because the milk will expand in the bottles when you freeze them. Disassemble the rest of your parts so you can thoroughly wash and dry them. Now, hopefully you know how to use your Medela Pump and Style Advance, and like I said, if you want to learn how to get a free breast pump, check out my blog in the description below. Consider being a subscriber, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video.